Okay guys, I'm here today with Rick Lundell. Guys, huge honor for me. And guys, he has something very, very interesting that I had heard about for a very long time. And then today when I saw him, I was like, oh man, I know that. And he has the 1% thing that he applies in his life for his conditioning and for everything in his life, that I always try to do better 1% every day. So he even made a 500-day challenge that went completely viral on the internet. And I want to ask him some questions because it's a different and like new method that he used that I felt like amazing, you know, like because if I'm correct if I'm wrong, but his theory is like if you're gonna do a workout, for example, you should not start like putting a lot of weight. You should start from the bottom, and then like next day you do 1% better. Then next day you do 1% better, and keeps climbing up until like you reach things that look like impossible before. So tell me a little more about that, Rick.
Bernardo, that's exactly what it is. So I created the 1% improvement movement a few years ago, and what it is our concept is the overall concept, 1% improvement, right? But it's 1% better every day. That's the idea. So it doesn't matter what you're working on. If you're working on your jiu-jitsu, you're working on your wrestling, you're working on conditioning, you're working on striking, whatever it is in your life that you're trying to improve on, you want to make marked improvements, but you want to make marked improvements that you can actually stick to consistently. So you can't say, you know, I want to win Abu Dhabi next month, and you are a white belt.
Yeah, I never won a Niger, for example.
It's not going to happen. But like Bernardo, he spent years and years and years getting 1% better every single day. He improves little bits, and that's how he became the world champion he is today. That's how it works for every champion along the way. And 1% better every day was a way that I was able to conceptualize and work with the champions that I work with and say something to them to help them improve. Like, man, don't think too much about what happened today. It's not that big of a deal. Did you get 1% better today? Did you show up and put 100% effort in?
That's
and that's what the concept's about. And anybody can do it.
Yeah, I agree.
Anybody can do it. You can wake up every day and figure something out.
Yeah, and then you did the 500-day challenge, right?
That's right. So I did a 500-day in a row squatting challenge, and I squatted to max every single day for 500 days in a row. And awesome. I was traveling. I was cornering fights. I was working with Bishop Foreman wrestling team. I was practicing jiu-jitsu and wrestling every single day, but I max squatted every day. And what happened is along this concept, along the way of just trying to improve 1% every single day, I went from a 275-pound squat to 615-pound squat.
Right, that's amazing.
And it was unreal. And I only gained 15 pounds along the way.
And how was it? Like every day you would increase the weight a little bit? How is it like?
So every single day I would go to my max. And so your max isn't necessarily a personal record every day. It's as much as you could lift that day.
That day, I got it.
And what would happen is I would continue to make marginal improvements.
Right,
where one day you put half a kilo on the bar. The next day you put a full kilo on the bar. The next day you put 1.5 kilos more on the bar. And before you knew it, I just kept making gains. And people that I had talked to my entire life had said, you can't max every day. You can't do legs every day. You can't lift every day. You can't do those things. But what I found was at the end of my challenge, I squatted 600 pounds for 14 days in a row. 14 days in a row. So it actually became part of me. It became part of who I am. And it's just because of these small improvements. And it's all in the mindset that you use, and it's all in the daily growth. And if you can start to adapt and put 1% better every day in your guys' mind, you can go anywhere.
Man, that's awesome. So it's like doing your best every day, not worrying about improving so much, right? Improving like.
That's right. That's right. Because what happens is people want something more than what they're capable of. Let's say you got sick. You're in the middle of training, you get sick, now you're tired. You show back up at training and you expect to be who you were a month ago. You're not who you were a month ago. But what can you do? You can get 1% better than you were yesterday. You were sick yesterday. You were in bed yesterday. The fact that you got out of bed today means you're better.
Yeah, so it's a daily thing, right?
It's
not
a
necessarily
daily
like
thing.
against last month, because maybe like
That's right.
if you got hurt, you're gonna be a little worse, but you want to be better than yesterday.
That's right.
Man, that's
and anything can happen in training. You like Bernardo just said, like you blow out your knee. What can you do now? How can you get back to who you were and exceed who that person is?
Man, that's amazing. Yeah.
Just take it 1% at a time.
Yeah, man, the coolest thing for me about that is that you can apply this for everything, not like only conditioning or jiu-jitsu or wrestling.
That's right. You want to be a millionaire? Get 1% better at what it takes.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You want to have a better family life? Get 1% better at that. If you want to be 1% better at jiu-jitsu today, before you know it, after 100 days, you're 100% better. Focus on your flexibility. 1%.
Yeah, and guys, Rick is an amazing example about that because he was telling me about his background and his black belt in jiu-jitsu. He was invited by which college to do wrestling, and he didn't have any wrestling background.
So I wrestled for Cale Sanderson, Cody Sanderson, and Casey Cunningham. They are the coaches now at Penn State University. They've won 7 national championships in 8 years, and I wrestled for them at the World Mecca, Iowa State University.
How many UFC champions have you worked with?
A lot. I mean, right now that I can think of, 8, right off the top of my head.
So you see that the 1% thing works. So man, that's amazing, Rick. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for spreading 1%.
Thank you. Man, my pleasure. I'm going to start doing it.